actor and one of the sweetest human beings we've ever met. Please welcome Colin Farrell.
Yeah, just right there. Just here. Perfect, right there. Stand here.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring everybody in. May I?
You may.
Thank you.
How's it going? Hello, everyone. Hey, friends and family.
Welcome back.
Thanks, man.
It's always great to have you here. For those who
It's always
don't
great to
know,
be
last year you became an official MPTF board member.
Yeah.
And what could you? What is it that draws you to this place? What do you get out of it? I know you just got to spend some quality time with the residents.
I'm just trying to guarantee a bed for myself for about 20 years. I'm just playing the long game. Just playing the long game.
Many years from now.
Yeah, no, I just think it's a magic place, as I've said before. I don't mean to, I know it's possibly a really complicated thing for some people to move here and begin this chapter of their life here, and maybe it's less complicated for others, and I'm sure that every single person's experience is individual to them, but from the outside, being allowed to come in and experience it, I always, of course, until I get that bed, as an outsider, but to be able to experience the place and the beauty of the actual campus itself and the gardens and the spirit of the people that are living here as well. You know, I just love coming out here. I find it really life affirming, not because I end up going, thank God I'm young, because I'm not young anymore. I was 52 weeks ago. So yeah, getting up there, the hips. Yeah, the hips are a bit at me and the knees aren't what they once were. But I just love coming out. I just think it's a really magic place, and the community is really strong, and everyone has each other's backs. And yeah, if you want to play bingo and not lose your house, you know, the bets aren't too extreme, and I love it here.
That's what they want you to think.
I think it's a very special place, and I'm just thrilled to be able to come out and be a part of it in any way at all. Yeah. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
So we are here for Sugar, which has just started its second season. The second episode has just aired. Third one will be Friday, out of the 8 episodes total.
Whoever you are that just clapped, thank you. Thank you very, very much. I can only apologize on behalf of the rest of the room who didn't take you up on your offer. I'm joking. Yeah, we're here, yeah.
So as you hopefully know, this is on Apple TV. It airs once a week. There will be 8 total. This is a completely new missing persons case for Sugar. So if you're kind of fuzzy on the details of last season, or if you didn't catch up with it yet, don't worry. There's kind of a wrap up at the beginning, and then the new case kicks in. So you'll be able to follow it along. It'll be totally cool. So something that jumped out at me, because I've only seen the first 2 episodes, obviously.
Yeah.
He's a private eye. Normally you think noir, you think kind of jaded, kind of cynical. But he's the opposite of that, because especially in these 2 episodes, the empathy I think just really shines through. That comes out of him. It's not your normal private eye. So, what is it about the character that drew you in? Where do you see it going this season?
To be honest with you, it's that very thing. When I read it first, I thought, I loved that it was set in Los Angeles, and I loved that Los Angeles wasn't just a backdrop, but it was very kind of prominent character and energy weaved throughout the 8 episodes of the first season and the 8 episodes of this season, the second season. But it was that he was really, there was a gentility and a tenderness and a kind of a deep, empathetic aspect that the character had to himself that did seem very counter to what I was used to viewing as an audience member in loving, you know, things like Maltese Falcon, A Big Sleep, or Bob Mitchum's noir films, or any of them. As you said, the central character is usually beaten down a little bit by life. They're suspicious, they're cynical, they're hard-boiled, jaded. This guy was quite the opposite. He has this kind of optimistic way about him, and I suppose it's born of the fact that, spoiler alert, you know, he's from a different planet, so he's not really been burned by the genealogical human experience where each of us grow up with the sins of our fathers and our forefathers and all that kind of stuff. He doesn't have any of that. So he's just, I thought it would be really boring. I thought, you know, God, the character is so nice, he's kind of vanilla. There'll be no drama, but it's kind of a testament to how how much that level of decency is maybe lacking in the human experience, that it actually became something so exotic and so interesting, because the people who have spoken to me about liking the show have referenced the fact that the character is sweet and kind and empathetic as something that's really not that common. So, yeah.
There are several scenes where you expect something to turn confrontational, and the script keeps flipping on you,
Right.
and things actually turn out much more sort of uplifting, I think, in a way you wouldn't expect. So, with a wide range of cast members. So, yeah, I just think it's a really nice turn for the character.
Yeah, it's lovely to go to work and play someone who's thoughtful and considerate, and also he's tough enough in himself as well. He can take care of himself, and he finds himself in situations where violence is really, it's not even, is it an option? It's the only way that he can really survive. So there are those question marks, and this year there might be a bit of a romantic relationship. So I don't want to talk about interspecies sex because he's an alien, but certainly romance and desire and loneliness and those kind of things that all of us human beings inevitably contend with come to the fore in his experience of, I mean, the whole thing of having him obviously be an alien was just so that we could cast him as a true, very real outsider, that he could be looking at the human experience and be disturbed by certain things and be moved by other things, and ultimately he believes human beings to be fundamentally decent at their core, which is a very hard belief, I think, to you turn on the fucking news and you're like, yeah, we're not really fundamentally anything but greedy. But to honestly to inhabit that space just in a manufactured way as an actor in this ensemble for 10 or 12 hours a day was really, really lovely, as opposed to the Penguin, which that was hard. You know what I mean? Just the total opposite. It was really lovely. This time was a lovely little palate cleanser and a lovely character to play.
Well, since you mentioned the Penguin, you have quite the collection of very different American accents under your belt by this point. And with Sugar, it's, first of all, this is very much a love letter to California, to LA in particular, and to the movies. In fact, there's a line about California here that's kind of like a fist bump moment that people will know when you hear it. But the accent, I think, it's sort of sweet, and you have I think more voice. I didn't stop watching, but I think you have much more voiceover in this season than you did before. But it's not. It's kind of like a soft kind of wonder kind of voiceover with that accent. How did you sort of get into that character of that voice?
I don't know, just a dialect coach and just yeah, I have no idea really. You just read it and read it and read it and read it, and then you just start. You kind of, I suppose, you get a sense of whether the person imposes themselves on the environment through their voice, or whether they whisper, or whether they're more internal or external, extrovert, introvert, all that kind of stuff. You know, he wasn't from anywhere, so there was no geographical place to put him in, nowhere to kind of cast an origin story in Nebraska or New York or anything like that. So John Sugar as a character is. He is a manifestation of all the films that he's seen and all the kind of things that he finds fascinating about American cinema, which usually predate the 60s. Like, he loves black and whites, and as you said, he's a big fan of film noir. So yeah, he would have leaned into that kind of energy, which was always kind of a little more monotoned and a little more whispered perhaps than contemporary film, you know. So that kind of stuff. Just fun. At the end of the day, just having a laugh, you know. Yeah.
Now, it's talking about the show actually over the last couple of days, something that has actually come up almost in every conversation is I want to call it a character on the show that people are really emotionally invested in, that they love, and that's the car.
Oh, yeah.
And the car this might be the most iconic current TV show car out there, I think.
Cool.
But people are really attached to it. There's
Eat that, David Hasselhoff. Next, I'm going to release some music in Germany and be number one there too.
And there's even I won't give anything away. There's a moment of peril involved in the car, and people are like, no.
Oh, really?
Kind of stressed up. Yeah,
right.
Like across the board, people go, oh no. So the car, like, what? I mean, how do you feel about?
Yeah, no,
there
seemed to be aesthetically, it seemed to be a three-hander piece aesthetically. I mean, there was an extraordinary cast, an ensemble, but just at its core, Sugar being the central character, and then his dog Wiley, from the first season, and then that car, which was it was beautiful Corvette Spider. Yeah, lovely thing to drive. Not much over 50 miles an hour, but you don't need to go more than 50 miles an hour when you're driving a car like that. You just want to chill and cruise in it. Beautiful, but that's part of Sugar's. He would love not just the aesthetic, but the actual engineering, the mechanics, the internal combustion system of that car. Like, he would be a big fan of things that human beings imagined into being, and also things that they made with their hands. So it would be deep for him. It would be deeper than just a pretty looking car that sounds good when you turn the ignition as well. You know, it was a kind of a peak performance, human engineering type thing. Yeah, and also lovely to look at, and yeah.
Is there like a car coach, or like somebody who sort of maintains the car on the set?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of lads. Yeah, that definitely. They had two of the cars. One of them was to be kind of thrown around a little bit more if there were skids and all that kind of shit, you know, that it wasn't in as good condition. And then there was the quote-unquote hero car, which was only cut out once every 10 times, as opposed to 5 times every 10 times, yeah.
So now, like we're saying, this is a fresh case.
So the car had a stunt double, basically.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like costumes, you gotta have your back.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course. It's showbiz.
Yeah.
So now, since this is, again, a new case, you've got a lot of new cast members, so is the vibe different, or now that you're starting a new case, what was this like compared to the first season?
No, great, just a really great collective of actors. I think everyone in front of and behind the camera was and is really aware that not that much shit shoots in LA anymore. Everything goes to Albuquerque or New Orleans and New York or wherever it may go. And, you know, California hasn't got the tax breaks that they should have, so they don't make it as economically feasible to shoot here, or viable to shoot here. So everyone was really grateful that they got to go home to their own beds. They didn't have to leave their kids and their wives, their spouses. So it was cool. Yeah, it was really magic. Like, honestly, everyone was really amped by that fact. Because, you know, it's still before you get but you having to leave home for 8 or 9 months of the year, or just be unemployed. Like, a lot of the extraordinary crews in this city are just unemployed and struggling to find work and struggling to get their health benefits because they can't get the points because they're not getting the hours, etc., etc., etc. So honestly, all that pervaded the atmosphere and the set. It was just like fucking happy days, man. It was like summer holiday. You know, we're all working hard, but we're in LA, in a city that we love, and the cast were extraordinary. Like, you know, Laura and Shay, my old pal, who I did my first American film in the year 2000 with Shay Wiggum, who is in this and is a wonderful actor, and Tony, and then the 2 Korean American actors, and they did such an extraordinary job, Raymond and Yun Ha. So it was an amazing cast, amazing. Everyone, there's a lot of love goes into the show, like not like the toil of love, just a lot of fun and a lot of companionship, and we were writing the scripts as the show was being shot, so everyone has an input, and it feels like a really good collective of creatives, you know?
And I think when you watch the show, it just kind of reminds you that there's just nothing to compare to shooting in LA. Like, you can just tell right away, just the way the air and the way the sun hits, and it has its own vibe, and there's something really you slip right into it. It's so reassuring.
Yeah, and LA's, as you say, sunrises, sunsets, and everything in between, but particularly those 2 points of the day have a really uncommon magic to them, you know? And you see that with your eyes, and then you just put a lens on that, and obviously they call it magic hour for a reason. It's really, really extraordinary. But the whole city is so multicultural as well. It's such an interesting place, depending on where you are. You know, there's Filipino town, Thai town, Chinatown, every fucking town. You know, it's amazing the different cultures that call this home, and it's really colourful, and it's much more interesting than Hollywood. Do you know what I mean? You go east into Salvadorian parts of the city, and it's a really colourful, really exciting and community-driven city. You know, it really is in many parts of it. And of course, obviously, in the less affluent parts, the less affluence there is, the more community sharing there is. You know, it's always been the way. It's the same where I come from in Ireland. But yeah, to shoot on the streets of LA was magic, because they could have just done, okay, shoot Griffith Park Observatory, the Hollywood sign, a couple of days on the Hollywood Boulevard, and then let's fuck off to Toronto. I mean, they could have done that, you know what I mean? Apple, in fairness to Apple, and excuse my language, in fairness to Apple, they were really like, no, this show is about LA, we're going to shoot it here in LA, and that was cool.
And that's why LA is the best city for a private eye story, because you just go like 4 blocks one way and you're like, oh wait, I'm in a totally different place.
It changes fast. Yeah.
Which is fun on the show, because like you never really know where you're going to be. It's like you go to see a different person, talk to someone else, and it's like the whole vibe changes.
Yeah, for sure.
So now, after the first season was done, what was the process of getting season 2 going? Was it the character?
I don't know, man. No algorithms. I don't understand any of it. They do that. You know, it would be like, they just. They just look at who they know who's watching, whether you stay till the end, whether you turn it off halfway through, whether you make it to the 3rd episode or the final season, whether you binge it or you watch it once a week or you wait till it's all compiled as 8 episodes and binge. They know everything, and then they have to do their due diligence and see if it's worth their while to invest, because this would not be a cheap show to make. Do you know what I mean? It really cost a pretty penny. So I would love to do like 4 or 5 seasons of this and bring it to a
For most shows, I think 5 is kind of the magic number. Like
yeah,
that's
I would
like
love that, because then you get to bring it to its conclusion, which I don't know what that would be yet, but I'm sure either Sugar would have to die on this planet or you get to go home. I don't know, but the journey to get to one of those conclusions would be really fun, because I love the character. But we'll see. It's out of our hands now, and it's a different day with streaming and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So when season 2 was getting off the ground, did they come to you and say, okay, it's a go? Or did they present it to you as a continuation of the character or the new plot, or both at the same time?
No. They didn't even do a writer's room until they decided to go a 2nd season. So it was, okay, we're gonna go, we'll renew. I think it was close. I don't think it was like a clear, definitely. I think, they were crunching some numbers, and so they gave us the green light, and then we got a writer's room together to break 8 hours of television, to break the story arc, and that was it. About 4 months later, we had scripts, but they still needed work. And while we were shooting, we were still very much working on the scripts and stuff. Yeah.
I'm just curious, when you're doing a show that is, at heart, it's a mystery. So,
Yeah.
like, how does the actual mystery get mapped out? Like, when do you know? Like, do they hand you the scripts, or are you in the writer's room when they're laying out the arc of the mystery, or how does that
The
work?
writer's room, you know exactly what kind of waters they're swimming in, and whereas the first season took place mostly in Bel Air and the Palisades and around the studios, particularly Paramount, this takes place more in East Los Angeles, Koreatown. It's a totally different look at a different aspect of Los Angeles as a city. But yeah, you're told the storyline, and then let the writers go and do their thing, and then pages come through and scripts come through, and then you have meetings to try and change certain things. Certain things don't work, certain things do work, and all that kind of, like, honestly, a work in progress until the very end. Yeah.
So, like, now that you got 2 seasons have been done, have you got any kind of feedback about this? People ever?
No, I have no idea. I hope you enjoyed. You didn't waste your time coming out. No idea. Well, the reviews are solid. Yeah, the reviews are solid. Sorry, it wasn't a lie, but I spoke no truth.
I just wondered, like,
I forgot. No, the reviews are solid, which is nice, because it doesn't always work out that way. So I don't know anything about the viewership at all, man.
Yeah. No, I just wonder, you're at a party and someone comes up and be like, oh, I love that show, Sugar. I love when you do this. Does anybody ever say that? Or?
No.
Shame on them.
You almost just did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I know everyone who's watched the first season loves it, I hope, because you're here. So thank you, Colin, and without further ado, enjoy the first episode of season 2 of Sugar.
Thanks, man. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. Thank you so much. And thanks for just a quick one, thanks for your continued support of this place, and as much as you can spread the word that this place always needs help and assistance to keep it running as beautifully as it does. What's that?
I'm in.
You what?
She's in.
You're in?
Yes.
Yeah, great, cool. Okay.
Thank you.
You and the rest of your buds, and spread the word, and just, because this place does always need, obviously, financial support as well. It's an extraordinary place, and thanks for coming out, everyone.
He's like,